Good morning, and good morning. This is Deborah with Deborah's Blue Tarot, and I am going to be reading this morning on the reopening of the Congress and the potential blowback on this vote. I know that there's a lot of Democrats who are pissed off that this one and that one and that one and this one, voted to reopen it. We were fighting back, making the Republicans look really bad. There's something bigger here. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's more to this than is obvious. If that makes any sense to you. I don't think it's as simple as he shouldn't have done it or he, whatever. I don't think this is simple. I also think that the Democrats who did vote for it have nothing to lose because they're not up for re-election till, in theory, I want to say it's 2029 or 30. And a lot can happen between now and then. I also want to say that Chuck Schumer did not vote for it. And for those of you who are bashing him, I think you're forgetting some of the amazing things Chuck Schumer has done in the Senate. I know many people think that he's just a lackey and, he's the old guy or whatever. No, please. Bernie Sanders is older than all of them added up together, and he is as cool and as sharp and well thought of, and one of my seriously fabulous Democrats who I did not give enough credit to back in the day against people that were my favorites. Now that I've said all of that, we're going to read on the reopening of Congress. Moving that aside, I woke up last night feeling very, very ill. The night before, I had these, remember that chill thing I had that one time, and I went into the ER when I was at work, and they gave me fluids, and I was waiting for some further testing, and I just signed myself out. AMA, what we call against medical advice. It was just taking too long. I had been there a minimum of 5 hours, and I was sick, and they didn't know what was wrong with me yet, and it wasn't even that busy. I worked there. I came into work and then could not, whatever. The point is that I'm sure you guys remember, or many of you might remember, yesterday when I felt sick, and I was telling you about this. And I woke up with this flaming throat. It's still there. I went to the store this morning early. That's why I'm a little later today. And got some lozenges, whatever. The whole point that I'm trying to make. I'm going to land this plane right here and now. I will not be doing a channeled reading. It's too much, takes too much of my energy right now, and I need to get better. And I have to leave that out for now. I know a lot of you love it. I do too. But I need to get better. And as soon as I'm better, I will bring it back. I promise. This is not the same thing as the rods. Not even close. It was either leave off the channel or just do the channel. And I'm not giving up doing my cards for that. Anyway, let's move forward with the return of Congress, and let's see what happens here. This is going to be wild. Slide those there. What have we got on the bottom? Burden. Burdens, burdens, burdens. Okay. The signifier and the challenge card. The signifier is the Empress. Our beloved Empress of fertility and goodness, I guess. Crossed by the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a card of a benevolent king with information, movement and action. Let's tuck that in there. Hold on one second. Okay, so what is on the bottom here, what is underneath it all, is the Queen of Pentacles. This is a kindly queen with a big purse. What crowns the reading? The Eight of Wands. More wands. Now this is information in massive amounts, And as these wands come in, wands are following it and following it. So it's boom and boom and boom and boom. Each wand, while there are 8, don't represent 8 pieces of information. This is just a boom, 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 a full-on crashing of information. There is some water there, so there's some emotion to this information. But whenever I get a card like the 8 of Wands, I always know something is seriously happening and possibly about to change the entire dynamic. Because right now, I might have a clue, but I don't really know what the information is. In the past, the 9 of Swords. This is a card of, well, in this particular configuration, sleepless nights, anxiety, stress, something so heavily weighted on this character's mind that he, she, I don't know, either or, can't sleep. Now, I would suggest getting a more comfortable bed, but then, that's just me. So that's the past. In the future is the 2 of Wands, and hang on a moment. I forgot my glasses. I want to read this. The 2 of Wands, I told you, the 2 and 3 of Wands is like I can't seem to learn it without reading into it. Plans into action. Nope, 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands. Reflection of passion. Making plans. Having the world in your hand, clearly. Right there. Fire's energy has developed into something more. The duality of passion and the possibility it allows. The figure stands between 2 wands with the world in his hands. The wands reflect 2 pillars like the tree of life. Seeing the world before you, what do you want? Now's the perfect time to plot it. He already knows what he wants. He's just holding on. The Fool, a card of many meanings. Okay, first of all, it's the first card of the major arcana in the deck. There's the 0 at the top. It's also a card, you see all the water around it and the mountains with the snow cap, So this card is either A, someone who is a fool, and I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm just saying someone who is a fool, or someone ready to take a leap of faith, starting anew, new beginnings. He's got all his stuff wrapped up here. The sun is out. As you can see, the sky, or the background actually, is all yellow. So that's a revelation color. And I think the dog here is saying, wait, take me. We don't know what will actually happen if he were to take that leap to the other side. For all we know, he could take the leap and crash. We don't know, because that's not the intent of the card to know. Next card, the Six of Cups. Kind of going back into the past, a simpler time, kindness, generosity. We miss those days because we miss the kindness, the neighborliness. Despite what you believe politically, we just miss that hi, how are you moment. And there's many, many, many more things. But that's what the basis of this card is. Missing those lovely, sweet moments, buying flowers on the street, etc. The Chariot card. Now, this is a card that is a major arcana. For me, the way I'm looking at it under these political circumstances is the speed with which it travels currently in this deck. These are sphinxes. Actually, they're not really sphinxes. They're dressed up to be that, but they're more tigers and or lions and or some sort of other animal. They don't naturally have these. And if you notice, the faces of these animals look human, right? But you also see the tail. This particular character here is a human. Never noticed it before. In some respects, this can be a card representing the military. I often get this when I'm talking about that kind of energy. The Eight of Pentacles. Pentacles are not always money. Pentacles are earthly items. They could be a vote. They could be books. They could be some educational items. These are not just representative of money. And you can see that he is using a like a hammer and a nail almost to draw in his the shape, and probably stack them over there. This could be anything of the earth. I can't even think of what it might be, but it's not just representing money. Okay? Last card up. my mini, M-I-N-I, death card, and the Ace of Wands. An ace with a lot of power, a lot of action, activity, movement, information, sprouting more. These little pieces falling to the ground, being revealed, coming off this wand. Each little piece here, I'm going to say, for me today in this moment, represents bits of information. And now that the Congress is back in session, or in theory will be back in session, the Epstein files are coming out. I'm telling you that the Epstein files will be the end of him, because there was more to it than just being someone's friend. There's a lot of information about his relationship the Fool, and I'm talking about, of course, Donald. His information causing him tremendous anxiety if he is able to have human emotion anymore, even if he's in a coma and no longer of this life. This is coming out, stressing all who have been protecting him. Let's see what else we can pick up here. Illusion and delusion. I am not saying that this card is the death of him, because the death card can be a major ending and then a new beginning. The USA. It's not the death of us. This is the card of hope. We are much stronger. The happy family. Temperance comes out all the time. The World. The Knight of Wands. Rearing back. The Military. Where's my Chariot? That's what. There we go. The Military. And the power and the strength of the USA. Choices had to be made. The Democrats. So, do not blame Chuck Schumer. He voted no. Did you know that? He voted no. And while he doesn't represent me because he's in New York, I am defending him because I don't see where he gets a black eye on this. Sorry, I just don't. And the ones that theoretically get the black eye are not up for election for 2 to 3 years. And by that time, they could decide to retire. You never know. I think that the Democrats did what they had to do. They held out as long as they could, and they were looking into the eyes of people in their districts that were struggling, that didn't have the money to buy anything to eat. I'm not talking about presents. I'm not talking about cigarettes. I'm not talking about booze. I'm talking about food. Hungry children. Mothers looking at them for help. Please don't do this. My husband's been furloughed for yada, yada, yada period of time. And we have to decide between money to rent for our rent or house or medicine for my husband who's a transplant patient. You need to understand what goes on just a little bit more and have a little bit of empathy to understand. I'm freezing. So every time I swallow, my ears hurt. I'm really not well, but I think I did pretty good. My bones ache. Everything hurts me. Spirit, will the Democrats come out of this with a black eye in any respect from the people? No. It had to be done. If I had hungry children, hungry nieces, I would do anything. I would do anything to make sure that they weren't hungry and that they had heat in their house and that do you understand what I'm saying? Do not be judging the Democrats so harshly. This was a very measured, intentional vote. And I applaud the Democrats for staying out as long as they did to really, Okay, guys, I will be back later tonight. I'm going to go lay down for a little while. And I'll be on tonight to do an evening recording. And try to get better. Even my eyes look ridiculous. I look stoned, and I'm so not. I promise you. I am completely sober. Have a wonderful day, you guys. Peace out.